Hey, good morning everybody, or afternoon or evening, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is for you. I want to walk you through how to do the Google Earth Plate Tectonics lab. So let's dig in here. I'm going to open the assignment. The first thing to keep in mind here is that there are a few steps to getting this thing started, all right? First of all, you need to have multiple tabs open. So let's follow these instructions here. You're going to open a tab with the Google Earth Lab, okay, and just leave that, let it run. It takes a while for Google Earth to load, so I'm just going to leave that alone for a little bit. Then you also need to open up the instructions. We're going to go back to these instructions in a bit. And then you need to have your plate tectonics notes that we did in class, which was yesterday. And if you haven't finished those, it's a good idea to get those finished before you move forward with this Google Earth Lab, because there's information there that you will need to answer some of the questions, okay? So that's kind of a prerequisite. All right, so you're going to have the 4 tabs open. You're going to have Google Earth, the instructions, the plate tectonics notes, and this Canvas tab where you'll have the questions, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and click on Take the Quiz, and so you'll want to have the questions open, okay, and you're going to want to keep all 4 of these tabs open. Now let's move forward. So we're going to go to the instruction slide set, and let's walk through how this works. So first of all, this slide 2, we've already opened the link. We don't need to click there. This is if you're doing it without teacher instructions. All right, so it does take a while to load Google Earth. First thing you need to do here, once it loads, you need to click the back arrow in the very top left of the table of contents box on the left side. I'm going to go do that. Click the back arrow. You see it is still loading. Right, it may take a while to load. It has to kind of load and get all up into your computer's memory before you can make it work. So there's my back arrow. I'm going to click this back arrow, okay, just like they said. I'm going to go back and find out what's next. Then you need to click the pen icon to lock the project to your Google Earth map. All right, so I'm going to go back, and you are looking at the Tectonic Plates Lab. All right, I have these other copies, don't worry about that. But what we're talking about here is the pen. The pen should look like this. You don't want it to look like that, because then it's not locked. You want it to be pinned to your project. Okay, so to make sure that it's that way, then all right, then we move forward. Next up, this is just a reminder, you should have all 4 of these tabs open. The Canvas quiz, the instructions, the Google Earth tab, and the plate tectonics notes. All right, so there are 13 boundaries from all around the world loaded onto this project. You're going to be looking at each one, investigating, reading, learning about it, and then answering 3 questions about that boundary. You're going to follow the table of contents, which is that big black box on the left side of the page, and make sure you're going in the correct order. It does go from 1 through 13. You can zoom in and out all you want and take the tour as you go through to next boundaries. You can explore a lot, but you always got to come back and do the questions in order, okay? Now, some specifics that you'll see in the application. There are icons. This is called the map point icon, and that just will lead you to specific information that's preloaded into Google Earth, interesting and popular landmarks and things like that. The boundary icons, like you see this red line here, that's a boundary line icon. That will show you the boundaries of these tectonic plates that we're looking at in question. All right, and then we have arrow icons that were planted to show you which direction those plates are moving. The blue, like we see here, represents oceanic plates. The orange represents continental plates, okay? Water versus land, basically. The icons that will be in your table of contents that are on the left in black can look a little different. The map point icon looks the same, but the boundary line icon show up like this, these kind of connected dot lines, all right? And the arrow icons will look like this on your table of contents. This is just letting you know that they look a little different than they do on the map, as compared to the table of contents. You can hide or show different icons by clicking on the little eyeball. That's like if I go to the Tectonics lab, you can see there's a little eyeball over here on the left, right there. You see the little eyeball? You can hide, and so that makes it visible or not. Let's see here. Next one. So once you have gotten in, you are going to be clicking on the boundaries either in the map or in the table of contents, and it'll show you 3 questions that you have to answer that are in Canvas. All right. So here, if you click on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge boundary, you'll see the 3 questions over here. These are going to match up with the questions that are in Canvas that you're going to be answering. All right. So I'm going to go back to quiz here in Canvas, and so here we have. And the way the questions are organized in Canvas, they're organized by groups. So the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is group 1, has 1, 2, 3 questions. All right, that's question group 1. And then question group 2 is the Andes Mountains. If I go back to Google Earth, I will see that 1 is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, 2 is the Andes Mountains. And as you scroll down, 3, 4, 5, all the way through 13. There we go. Okay, so that's the setup. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back to my instructions. All right, because we're almost done with the instructions. So let's see here, make sure I didn't miss anything. So there's 13 boundaries, 3 questions apiece, and then there's 3 additional star-like questions that are in the Canvas page, which are kind of the wrap-up to the whole project. All right, when you're done, make sure you submit your Canvas quiz answers. If you finish before the end of class, you can explore. Okay, so that's neither here nor there. Let's go back to the Google Earth platform and look at how this is working. All right, so you will be clicking on, I'm going to click on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, and you will see that this took me to the map point icon. All right, and that gives me information that's plotted in, it's already preset in Google Earth about that particular thing. Okay, and this is all worth reading. This is good information to have. Like there's interesting little graphic there. All right, I'm going to scroll out, and that's the map point. And then I'm going to click on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge boundary, and it'll pull out and show me the whole boundary there. And you can see that it runs all the way from just about Antarctica up to Iceland and beyond. And so you can explore all of these. You're going to be looking at all the information in Google Earth here, and then answering your questions in Canvas. All right, so that's pretty much how the project goes. I think that's about all I need to cover. I just think this is so cool. Take a look at the African plate. Look at that. There's Africa, and look how big the African plate is. You can see it. It always looks so different to explore Earth and not just see how we're not in the center of the thing. There's the Pacific. There's the Pacific. Pretty cool. Huh? If you get lost and you want to get uprighted, you can always hit the north icon, and it will point you to the North Pole. That'll get you uprighted, facing north again. So like if you get all turned around, you can see the compass down there. That'll point you back up north. There we go. All right. I think that's about it. I'm just wandering around here. I'm going to do some exploring. Let me know if you have any questions. Message me in Canvas.